welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the AI Film Club number 4. How are you doing? You might have noticed it's month number 4, and we're also at location number 4. Does anybody have a frequent flyer card? Have they been to all 4 yet? Or, yeah, you would. If you do, there might be some door prizes. We'll try and find a bottle cap or something. But thank you for coming here. We've got a really amazing night for you. I'm going to start this as every month, as I say, it's a pretty amazing time right now. Every month is a pretty amazing time right now. Irrespective of the news, let's just put our phones away on that regard for a little while. But the models, the AI film technology and community, the business of film is really changing by the second here. And I want to introduce a few notions here from, let's see, there we go. Actually, before I do that, Mayumi. Yes, sir. Mayumi, come on down.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? I am also going to put my phone down because it's not necessary. Hi, thank you for coming. I want to welcome everybody to our space number 4. We are gathered here on the unceded traditional territories of the Squamish, the Musqueam, and the Tsleil-Waututh people. I have the great privilege to have some Indigenous mentors, and one of the things that they teach us is that when they care, they will correct behavior. Because if they didn't care, they would let us walk around looking dumb. And they say it and teach it in such a way that it creates a safe space to make those mistakes. And I kind of like to think that that's what we're building here, because we're not just talking about pros, we're also talking about cons. We're talking about the things that scare us, and we're talking about the things that make us excited. So I am very, very grateful for all of you to be here and to help us create this community together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayumi. Beautiful as always. You know what? Do you want to keep that? That's your door prize for being here all 4 times, I think.
I don't want it.
We'll keep that handy. So we're going to come back to you before long. So thank you. All right. Coming up next. Where was I? It's an incredible time right now, y'all. There's so much happening. I wanted to introduce the notions of my storytelling Yoda, Bay Raid. He put out an incredible article this month, and he simply called it, "Context is the New Art Form." And I couldn't agree more. I was extremely privileged to be under the tutelage of Bay Raid at my time at Neuro Studios together. Bay is a master of storytelling, of technology, of being a real human being. He is an OG burner. He went to Burning Man while I was first getting onboarded, and he's like, "I treat Burning Man like most families treat Thanksgiving, because that's when I go see my dad." So he's just an absolutely wonderful human being, and he's got some big ideas for us all. So previously, we've had a real arc here. Talk about storytelling is more important than ever. The changes that have happened every month have been monumental. The first month that we started really pouring over this new paradigm shift, something big is happening. We felt the ground shake. Schumer warned us in that article, which feels like a fleeting memory by now, but it was a big article when it came out that week. We introduced the orchestration age, the conductor metaphor. The month after that escalated quickly. It sure did. New models every week. Agentic video arrived. We were hoping it might be here kind of soon, but nary 2 weeks after the first month, there were real models that came out in the premise of Martini.film, in Luma Labs coming out with an agentic and infinite mood board workflow as well. It was a big month for agentic workflows coming out, and that is only magnified since. This month, context is the new art form. The models just keep on coming. They ain't slowing down anytime soon. We're seeing a new kind of resurgence in Sea Dance 2, of course, in the past few days that we'll touch on, being broadly opened up after Hollywood whooshed down on it super hard. And it's even available in the States now as of this morning from Runway. The models just keep on coming. One just kind of died. Sorry, Sora. Rest in peace. At least the social portion of it anyways, and the API not too long after that. We hardly knew ya. Somebody finally articulated the discipline that makes all of this work, and this is what Bay has to offer. So again, who's Bay? Bay designed the face of Gollum for Lord of the Rings at Weta Digital under Peter's close scrutiny. A VES award winner, 9 years at Valve Games, absolutely instrumental in getting all of the hits out of Valve out of there. Some of the the McKenna short stories that came out of the big properties out of there too. He started at Image Comics, spent 30 years at the intersection of art, tools, and production. He just published a framework for human AI collaboration called Context is the New Art Form. It's the most useful thing anyone has written about working with AI, in my heart anyways. And I'm kind of biased because I got to live it, being absorbed by it for a few months when I worked underneath him. Here's why. Sora's dead, as we mentioned. $1 million a day to run the Sora app. There's a little bit of burn involved with that, right? Yeah. That's what Sora 2 cost to operate. Consumer app shut down on April 26th. Disney committed $1 billion to OpenAI and a lot of their key IP to keep Sora as Sora 2 as the back engine, potentially for some of the user remixable IP that they've been promising on Disney Plus. That's gone. That's in the history books. $1 million a day churn before Disney even got their hands on it. They found out about the shutdown not even an hour before the public did. And I'm having PTSD because we found out that the trailer was going to drop for Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one, yes, that one, about 20 minutes before it dropped. And have you ever felt the internet come down on your office? It's pretty crazy. API is going to shut down in September. The most hyped AI video model is just kind of almost gone. It's going to be a memory. The counterpoint to that, Sea Dance 2 is opened up out of its kind of announcement and then death. March 24th, paid access opens in first markets. The 26th, it got integrated into CapCut. April 1st, expanded rollout, official enterprise API launch on the 2nd. Slow opening in the past couple of days, as we're seeing in Runway. All the aggregators are like, it's here, hurrah, even Americans in some parts. And I don't know how that's going to play out because it is very much still in the courts with a lot of folks right now. So as we all know about Sea Dance 2, multi-shot storytelling with persistent character identity across scenes, native 2K, 30% faster than competitors. I guess that depends on what you're really prompting through it. Dual branch video and audio in the same latent space, lip sync across 8+ languages, up to 12 multimodal reference files. So text, image, video, audio. You can use video for camera moves inside of the latent space. It will pick up on the cinematography of that. It's not just a video to video style transfer. It will understand the cinematography that you're accomplishing and lay that to whatever latent space creation that you're doing. It's very robust, but it's early days. A tech reviewer discovered Sea Dance 2 could reconstruct his specific voice from a single photograph of his face. No audio samples needed. That was one of the many pieces of the backlash that came to Sea Dance 2 that had to get shut down. It's pretty incredible. Never mind the Hollywood sort of like IP liability stuff. This is kind of the big one that kind of cascaded into all of that. And of course, Kling 3 motion control came out as well. That gives you more granularity inside of your shots. Kling 3, really holding down as the most accessible champion at the moment until Dance 2 really propagated out. You can draw motion paths. You've got 6-axis camera control. You've got character consistency binding across shots. Of course, if you're doing a multi-shot prompt, that's really baked into it anyways. I highly recommend just putting in like one image and have it just riff off of that one, because the consistency of that, it's pretty incredible out of Kling 3. Of course, high temporal consistency turns text to video from lottery ticket into actual direction. And I have to say, like the few times that I've really messed around with it and I'm starting to use the video manipulation model of it now, it's pretty darn impressive. And yeah, Dance does have some things better, but there's some unique charms to Kling that I really enjoy. And as we're really starting to learn, as all these models are continuing to expand and deploy, it's just the right model for the right kind of shot or the right kind of sequence. So it's kind of like, do you use a Cook? Do you use a Zeiss? Do you use an ingenue lens? It's different packages for different kind of narratives. VO 3.1 Lite also came out, an even lower tier to get generations out of that. It's still got some pretty cool tricks up its sleeve because, of course, it's trained on the entirety of YouTube. So you're going to get some specific gold out of that isn't available in some of the other models that have smaller data sets. The Great Reshuffle. In 5 weeks, the #1 model died. Sora 2 was top of the charts. It was actually the highest user churn on social apps as well. It was the highest user rate for several weeks, the Sora 2 app. It really was the TikTok of generative. Kling 3 director level control, Dance 2 open and integrated into CapCut, which is a killer move. VO 3.1 Lite coming into cheaper. Also LTX 2.3, a little bit older news by now, but they're increasing capabilities. I saw a post on Run Comfy this morning showing off how to do face swaps through LTX 2.3, and it was looking really killer. Yes, you got to know Comfy UI to get your way around it, but some of the specialized LoRa's that were handling face swaps, pretty impressive. So it's a great model. It also has its full desktop editor that lets you generate inside of the timeline as well, which is very impressive. Still some bugs to work out in how that actually works out, but for getting something across the board on your own compute, by the way, or you can use the cloud too, if you so wish, if you don't quite have enough hardware for it. It's a pretty impressive open source offering, and it's Apache 2 licensing too, so you can modify it to the nines. The leaderboard reshuffle completely, but here's the thing. The models aren't the story anymore. The models change every month, week, day. Has it been 10 minutes? Is there a new model that came out? Because I'll let you check your phone for 5 seconds and just see if a new model came out. It's really that breakneck right now. What doesn't change is the question, how do you actually work with these darn things? Right? They seem like, I'm learning Premiere after coming from CapCut. Oh, now I got to learn DaVinci Resolve. Oh, now I have to learn the Fusion page and the Fairlight page and the color page and the delivery page inside of DaVinci Resolve. Oh, now I have to learn After Effects as well. It's like it's on and on and on and on, right? There are a lot of models coming out, and yes, there are some quirks to them, but they all kind of have a unified way of being able to work with them. So the old way was plan, make, review. This workflow assumed making was expensive. It's not as much anymore. Some will say it's almost down to zero if you've got the right storytelling and brains behind it. In terms of hard costs anyways. Specification had to precede generation because generation was costly. That constraint is gone, but most teams are still working as if it isn't. This is the start of where Bay is going. The new loop, it loops continuously. We say around, a lot of us who have been working in generative for a while, we live in the edit. The edit tells us where it lives, breathes, and dies constantly. And we used to have this paradigm where we would stick to storyboards and we would barely be in a race to get to just what the storyboards told us in time to get to the red carpet. That could be day one now. You get to storyboards, you look at the edit and see what you got. It's a whole new way of looking at it. Specification doesn't have to precede generation anymore. When generation is cheap, you generate first, discover through the output what the right spec is, then encode that discovery back into the context being the story, as a simple analogy. The code, the image, the scene, the design, each is a probe into the solution space, what you want people to feel through your story. The output of each loop is not just an artifact, it is a more precise context. And that's an analytical way of saying the story improves with each generation as you test it amongst yourselves and those that you trust. You can really bring audience testing within minutes of your ideation, which is actually very exciting. Can also water down your narrative if you're not too careful, but if you stick to your own instinct as well, it's a very exciting proposition. The super context. This is where it gets interesting. The team's most important shared artifact, the thing every generation reflects. Not documentation of what was made, a living specification of intention, what the team knows, what they've decided, what constraints are non-negotiable. That kind of sounds like storyboards in a sense, which are definitely a part of it. But it's more sort of like having your diorama of influences, your colors, your shapes, your cinematography, your lighting, your set decoration, all the bits that make the universe feel as absolutely palatable and real to your audience as possible. And the analogies are here in software versus film. Film that we all know, the visual language, the backstory, the concept art, character sheets, tonal guidelines. For some teams, an audio recording around a campfire. Sometimes it's just spitballing this crazy story, and you get that lush imagery out of the way that that story is told. That can be your tier one artifact, absolutely. But what Bay is saying is like the intention of your context vis-a-vis your story is the most important part of this entire process. And the more that you test against the intention of that, the more that you're going to win in this vastly new and speedy process. The reflection is disposable. The subject is what matters. The output of each loop is not just an artifact, it's a more precise context. The code, the image, the scene, the design. It's a probe into solution space, not a commitment. So every time that you see something, look at it, see how you feel. Walk away for an hour, come back, see how you feel again. Put it away for a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. See how you feel about it. And that space is really important. But part of my process when the timelines allow is just days for me to get separated from what I thought I fell in love with in the first edit and come back to it and go, ooh, that's hot shit. I got to change that. And that's a very important part of the process. We can fall way too easily in love with our own artifacts if we're not careful. Behavioral verification, not line-by-line review, behavioral. Does this do what it claims? And all of that to say here, test amongst yourselves, to yourself, to others. The highest leverage role is not the best generator. It is the person who maintains the integrity of the context that all generation draws from. This is a new kind of craft. It requires taste, precision, and deep domain knowledge. Know your stuff. Know your craft. Even if you're coming into filmmaking for the first time, and there's many of you that are doing that in the past meetups, and I know there's a bunch of new folks here tonight that have never touched film before. You've watched film probably all of your lives. And you've got this really amazing context within yourselves, and probably a super context of just knowing exactly what you want your piece to say. And I think the most amazing part, we've said this a few times in past events, people who come in from a non-filmmaking background and like knock it out of the goddamn park on their first story, what a gift. That's so cool to get to see and witness and shepherd, because it just goes to show that storytelling wins. It's not so much technical chops, although those very much help as you get through learning how to tell a story, like how to edit, what color does, and all that. Having those fundamental storytelling chops is what is really going to make what you've got. The oil painter working in transparent washes, each layer refining the one beneath, is not being undisciplined. Intermediate states are cheap. Direction is discovered through making. The result is evaluated against intention, not against a plan. Just keep going at it. Refine, 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 finesse, finesse. You can even take some of your generations that are like, okay, that's kind of cool, but like I don't know how to composite or anything like that. Run it again through a video to video generator and see what you get. You don't have to necessarily reprompt within the same engine and wait for the latent space to meet you in the middle. Remix it, see what happens. This is the most affordable way to experiment in motion storytelling that we've ever seen before, and it's only going to get cheaper. So play is so important. Our super context, given all of that, the BC AI Film Club kind of already has one. We just haven't named it. We get together. The prompt challenges are a big portion of it. We get up here and we talk amongst ourselves, and we hope to collaborate on things. And we're going to talk about a really cool tool that we really want to put together to help foster that kind of creation, both creative experimentation and paid. We want to facilitate all of those connections that we have here in this very room and beyond. Our shared context, 4 months of meetups, model knowledge, creative principles, the punk rock ethos, the venue vision, tonight's speakers, this community. All of y'all. Every single all of one of y'all. Every film a member makes reflects that shared context. I think the coolest surprise that has happened in the 4 months that we've had these is the prompt challenge. By far, and seeing how everybody creates something really unique and theirs, and I've genuinely never seen before. That's the coolest part. That's what makes me want to get up here and be incredibly hot in front of this LED screen. Like, the sweat is Niagara Falls right now, y'all. Sorry, not sorry. But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Don't hug me. But I'll accept hugs once I've, cooled off a bit, please. Hugs are good. Rates framework gives us the language of what we're already doing and the discipline to do it intentionally. Craft, domain expertise, super context, your intuition, your experience, your lived experience. That's what is all going to make the magic. The venue is a super context. We talked about the idea of a venue where we have this super location where I hope we get to do this because it's just so exciting to be. It's a pop-up space. It could be a club. It could be right here. It could be a church. It could be anything. Any building that's willing to take a whole bunch of AV gear and jam on IP, have a communal get-together. Oh, thanks. Chris is about to help my back sweat. Chris is embodying the community spirit right now. I just put out a call for no back sweat, please, and Chris delivers. So thanks, brother. Of course, it's an iterative process. Generate. He's also doing lighting design now. Yeah, that venue is this place where we get to pop up, where we get to play with films. It can be one film, it could be many small films, and we get to have, curated experiences where there's cocktails and food and set pieces that are 3D printed from those works, and you get to play around and just have fun with the space. And the high-level vision, of course, is to have, boxes that have that IP that the audience can go and jam on and make their own content out of it. And they get to spread it on social media and say, oh my God, I got to play in this universe for 2 hours and I forgot about everything that my phone was telling me and it was awesome. How cool would that be of an experience to help facilitate for yourself and others, right? The films are generations, the curation is context integrity. The audience remixing IP at the AI stations, that's the generate, verify, update loop in real time with your fandom. And if anyone has been reading the trades this week, fandom is the #1 priority with Hollywood right now. Everybody is just absolutely abuzz of how do we keep fandom going? It is the most important marker because we're seeing this kind of confluence of YouTube creators and streamers kind of going hey, you know what you're doing and you know what you're doing too. And here's this little middle line in the sand and they're just you guys know how to talk to audiences. We're losing audiences left, right, and center. How do we collaborate, right? And we're starting to see, in the case of, the name escapes me right now, Luke, who was that YouTube creator that did the adaptation of an indie video game that did really well in the box office? Thank you. Look it up. He pulled the Taylor Swift playbook. He negotiated a deal with every single individual studio or movie theater. He cut out the distributors, and he leveraged his audience to get one of the most amazing independent success stories in the box office in years. It's absolutely incredible. So that kind of like audience conversion is something that we can have access to and really get to play around with. And I'm really, 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 really excited about that. Iron Lung is the name of it. Yeah. It's a real amazing case story. Absolutely look it up when you can. Context integrity is the new chapter of punk rock. It's kind of a remix. I remember it in my day. Owning what you mean, curating it, maintaining it, refusing to let it drift. That's the craft now. Integrity just became a gentic. I think that's a really powerful notion. We can work in tandem with agents to craft our integrity like never before, to scale our integrity like never before. And these tools are super exciting to get to be able to enable that for every single creator, no matter what funding access that you may have. Doesn't that sound exciting? Doesn't that sound exciting? Yes. Amazing. The conductor returns. Month one's metaphor refined by month three's framework. Month one, we said you don't need to play every instrument. You need to be the conductor. Know what to ask for and when. Month three adds, the conductor doesn't just wave their arms magnificently and look like they're having some sort of unfortunate seizure. There's intention in all of those hand wavings. They maintain the score, the super context that every musician plays from. Without it, you get noise. And, you know, I've definitely ignored the conductor when I was in the orchestra pit a few times. Like, I'm going to play an F sharp. Go yourself, you know. But that only goes so far. And that's only with experience. It's really the conductor that makes and breaks the orchestra. The conductor's real job isn't performance. It's context integrity. That's the new craft. And we all get to play that. The teams that understand this earliest will not just move faster, they will produce work that teams operating under old assumptions cannot produce at all, because they will have learned to treat the context as the primary creative act and generation as its natural consequence. The new discipline, 4 things that make the loop sustainable: context integrity, behavioral verification after every generation, explicit ownership of structural decisions, legible intent at the merge boundary. Purpose is statable, context update. It's a pretty cool framework to work through, and I got real lucky to get to live, breathe, and play in that. And I'm so excited that Bay has started to speak about this more, and that I get to share that with you too, because I want y'all to take it home and run with it and just see what you create with it, because it's an awesome framework, and it has made me so much better of a storyteller than I ever could have hoped to have imagined in such a short time by being absorbed to that framework. The arc. We felt the ground shake. We introduced the orchestration age. Month 2, we found the punk rock solution, community venues curation. Month 3, we found the discipline. Context is the new art form. Big time. The models will keep changing, the leaderboard will keep reshuffling, but the teams that own their context will produce work others can't. That's all y'all. That's everybody. In this room, whoever's watching on YouTube, hopefully we'll get to live stream these things too real soon. What an exciting time. And I'm so grateful to feel excited in these times. Thank you. The reflection is disposable. The subject is what matters. Let's build our super context. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay.
That was both technical and inspirational. Oh my God, Mr. Pixel Wizard, the prompt goblin in the house, dropping the heat. That's like the fourth big essay he synthesized for this group from the context of being a filmmaker, VFX kind of person. That's like the fourth profound thing that you broke down for us. And I love the thread through the months 1 through 4. So good job, man. Way to keep bringing what I need to hear.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I'd also like to thank Claude for helping me write these things about 2 hours before. But that's because I manage my super context so well. It just gets me. Did I just make the first super context joke? I don't know. Okay. We'll see. We'll check with Guinness. Oh, an average okay, yeah. That's also known as a dad joke. So, and I will take claim on those any day. All right, we are into, oh, here we go. Not that yet. Community announcements. There are several of you that I want to bring up. Let's start with you, Eric. Come on up. The community announcements, if you haven't been to the main events, it's just an open jam. There's a few people that have approached beforehand, and it's just come up, talk about what you're up to, why you're here, and who you want to jam with in 60 seconds or less, please, because I ate up too much time. I'm sorry.
So I was at the planetarium a month ago. That was my first exposure to this group, and I thought it was interesting. I brought more copies of my science fiction novel about love and romance in artificial intelligence. I'm also working on a technical paper about edge computing. I call it AI at home, kind of modeled after SETI at home and folding at home. And part of one of my scenarios kind of involves this group because I'm proposing a network infrastructure where you can all share computing resources and not have to depend on the cloud. And one of my scenarios is that if instead of using cloud resources, Sora could have used edge computing and made it cheaper, and maybe it wouldn't have died so quickly. Anyway, I'm doing a lot of fun things.
We're giving slag to Sora already. We've barely just mourned its death.
But it's in my essay. So if you're interested in the essay, I'm interested in participating with people because I want feedback from you to tell me if I'm kind of doing the right thing. Take a photo of the cover of the essay. My email's on it. If you're interested in the book, I'm selling them here for $20 a copy, or you can pay $20 American on Amazon. Take a photo of the book and you can find it on Amazon. Anyway, that's my spiel. Hopefully I stayed close.
No, you're brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, I took up extra time making a Sora jab, so yeah. Thank you, Eric. Is Catherine still in here? Catherine, come on up, please. Catherine Warren is always up to something really interesting. Catherine approached me a few short months ago, it feels like years now, to help be on her panel at the Sustainable Production Conference, which was a really amazing experience. And we all had so much fun getting into the wheels of AI ethics and AI in climate change and filmmaking that we did it all again at the main BC AI meetup. Catherine, I'm going to let you unveil what this exciting new thing that you've got coming, and hopefully a bunch of you can be a part of it. Take away.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, AI creators, AI curious, AI super colliders. I am so grateful to be together with you in this beautiful space. Thank you, Yangus, and to join you all on the unceded territory of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh, particularly because there's so much we can do when we convene with purpose, and I feel like that's a big part of our meetups. And what I want to talk to you about today is my community outreach messaging is that I am producing and hosting a short television talk show series, 4 episodes, on the topic of AI in documentary filmmaking specifically. It's for TELUS Optic TV and their YouTube channels, and it's called Truth and Consequences, Documentary in the Age of AI. It's aimed specifically at emerging documentary filmmakers as the primary audience, but also a general audience. So it won't be jargon-laden. People who are interested in creativity and truth and disclosure will be very into this topic, I'm hoping. And, Western Canadian and Indigenous audiences, as well as Western Canadian and Indigenous speakers, are the ones that I would like to feature and platform. And I imagine that is many of you in this room. So I am looking for producers that right now are deploying AI and thinking critically about AI when it comes to factual content, whether you use it or whether you refuse it or whether you're testing and experimenting with it. And then how your work relates to what's going on in this community. So if you have specific experience using AI, for example, for pitching, for marketing, or for editing and post-production, I'd really like to hear from you. My email is kath@fantrust.com. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. And to those of you that I have already connected with, Kevin, Jeffrey, Yangus, Mayumi, and many others, I really appreciate the contributions you've made. I wanted to specifically highlight some of the issues in documentary filmmaking, which, by the way, I consider to be a bit behind compared to, say, animation or visual effects or games or other areas of entertainment that have embraced documentary. So I'm going to be looking at things like deepfakes, misinformation, climate, top AI tools and tactics, and what all of this means for working producers right now. And I think there's real wisdom in this room that documentarians need to hear. This is the place where a lot of the creativity is happening, and I don't want to see these two as worlds apart. I'm hoping to bridge that. And it's time to spotlight our whole crew. And of course, I'm going to be experimenting with AI in the production of this. For the music, for example, I'm going to use Tide Theory, which we saw demoed recently at our broader AI meetup. And one idea I'm playing with is kind of an open call for the visual identity of the series. So things like opening credits, interstitials, title cards, credit sequences, and the like. I'm thinking of that as an artificial identity, which is a new kind of AI, right? So if that interests any of you, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Catherine. You've done so much to put a spotlight on all the efforts. I'm more familiar with you just recently in the AI community, and no doubt, what you've done has led up to all of this, and it's such a gift to have you just put the spotlight on so many new avenues. So thank you for everything that you do. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yulia, can you come on down, please? And there's one more whose name I forget. You came with Victor. Please stand by. Please come on up. Yeah, please come. Hi, Yulia.
Thank you, Kevin. Hi, guys. This is my first time here. I produce vertical web series, and currently we're looking into involving AI, how we can make them not live action, but through AI. That's why I'm here, and I want to learn which programs to use, how we can use it in post-production, how we can do product placement with AI without doing it on set. So that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Julia. It's great to have you here. Definitely get in contact with her. Verticals are a very big and exploding industry at the moment. So you're in there with the trenches. A lot of us are trying to figure out what y'all are doing and how the heck you're making money. So definitely chat with her. I'm really excited that you're here and to hear how we can all mingle with you. Absolutely. Thanks, Julia. Appreciate it. All right, Ollie, come on.
Hi everyone, very happy to be here. It's my first time coming. Thank you for inviting me. And I came to Vancouver 3.5 years ago, originally from Ukraine. I was working a long time in advertising agencies, in film production, documentary, social projects. And here I work as independent filmmaker. mainly as a writer and director. And I just came here to get to know more tools from which I can learn to use it more in my work. And I'm very open to a lot of collaborations and crew. I'm right now working in a couple of developments of the projects, and a couple of them connected to Ukrainian-Canadian co-production. So I will be happy to talk, to get to know you more, and to learn all the tools you have here.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Holly.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love just how many different voices that we're getting from different communities that are here now and hoping to call this place home and just wanting to get in here and talk to y'all. Belchin is another wonderful example of that. She's fairly recently here, and now she's volunteering with us and helping us so much tonight. So thank you, Belchin. Hey, it's a joy to have you. I wanted to give also a little shout out on that volunteer tip. We need y'all. We have big plans, particularly on the media front. We want to create through the BC AI ecosystem, and of course the film club inclusive of that, the education, the mind and consciousness, all of the different groups. We want to create a media presence that is unbeatable. We want to be not only the ethical and the technological hub for so much happening in this province, but we also want to be a cultural hub as well. So we've got big plans for that, and we need all of y'all to help us out on that, on day-to-day logistics, on show day stuff. We want to make these into like multi-camera live streams, not too far into the future. And that requires talented folks to operate cameras, to help with the sound, to make sure that the YouTube stream isn't crapping out because Rogers forgot to tether our phone. It just needs attention. So scan the QR code. You'll be in touch with Alex. We put this up at the last main event as well, and we've already got a couple of folks from that as a result. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you all in advance for helping us out. Please, please, please help us. All right. We're into the prompt challenge, y'all. This month's theme was appetite. And I have to say, I'm nicely contently full after mastering these clips. Lucas Mayumi, do you want to come up and just say a couple of words before we get rolling here? Oh yeah, right, because you got a thing that's after. Let's go ahead and roll this puppy, okay?
Hey, you've had a hard life. And honestly, dying didn't really fix that, did it? Still choking down that processed cortex from the mini-mart? Gangrene at that place on Fifth? A teenager's brain so screen-rotted you can taste the TikTok. And don't even get me started on the supply chain issue. Well, drag yourself over to Little Bites, where every brain is farm-fresh, free-range, and never, I mean never, screen-fed. Our signature dish, the Little Genius, free-range, pasture-raised, fed nothing but organic books and classical music. You can taste the smart. Little Bites. Because you deserve better than what's left on the streets. And hey, bring the kids. Every 10th brain is free with your little loyalty score.
Little Bites, where the minds are always fresh. Little Bites, they're the best of all the flavors.
Epistemological axioms fracture, synaptic maps dissolving into static. This cognition algorithm fails to parse. Witness entropy's crushing, final harvest. The void becomes all that is left. All that is left!
Oh, like you've never eaten your feelings away.
Good evening and welcome to The Goat. Proudly rated 3 whole stars by the Motionlit Guide. I'm Lambert, your server. Totally alarmed. How will you find folks break bread this evening?
I am absolutely hungry as a bear tonight, Barbara, but I could literally eat a horse. No offense, Carol.
No, I'm taking, partner. Sounds like you got hollow legs. Waiter, I don't hardly ever stand on the left and right side of the menu. When why don't you like a burger, am I right, Bernard?
Normally I'm rubbing on empty to keep you light as a feather, but I guess I'll bite the bullet and pig out tonight. I'll have a murder's banquet for yous.
I'm the neural nibbler, and I'm gonna eat all your brains!
Here we go. Oh, that's so good. Fast mode, watch this. Slurp, hot, but worth it. Another one. Wow, last handful. Yep, still amazing. I'm not slowing down. Turbo mode. Straight from the pot. Best way. Meetings can wait. Nothing like noodles with a view. No fork? Nope.
It began with a hunger, a quiet ache for something more. It reached for the rain. It reached for the sun. It grew, not to keep, but to give.
Welcome to Grub's Cantina, the only restaurant in Galaxy Achbar that offers dishes with genuine, authentic human flavor. The dishes are divine. How do you know it's good, you ask? The reviews! We have glowing 5-star reviews from a range of dedicated customers. Here's to show a few. The most authentically human thing I've ever tasted. Most authentic human experience on the moon. Guaranteed! I am an actual human. I want to be clear about that. Humans are always welcome at Grubs. Always. All ingredients consistent with declared contents. Case closed. Consistent with declared contents. Yes, that is correct. Everything is declared. So come try our famous long-simmered pork special. Guaranteed delicious. Guaranteed authentic human flavor. 5 stars, no further questions.
Tiny Ghost Studios.
Long ago, a fisherman named Jaya cast his net beyond the reef, where the gods were said to move beneath the sea.
Let me go, and the sea will remember your restraint.
He fed her, cared for her, and told himself he had done no wrong. And indeed, his life grew rich. But the more tightly Jaya held his blessing, the more the world beyond his walls began to change.
Your hunger was never for food. It was for possession. You have doomed your village.
I have made my village suffer for my selfishness. I must return her to the ocean.
The village was saved. A starving belly can be filled. An unchecked appetite can swallow the world.
Nicely done, everybody. That was amazing. Come on up, Lucas Mayumi. And everybody who was a part of the prompt challenge, please come up onto the stage. We want to see who made these amazing works. Thank you so much. Let me unmute you. Luke, sir, your call is important to us. Please stand by. Okay, you're good to go.
Hello, hello. All right, well, everybody's coming up. Maybe, yeah, I guess, I just wanted to, I guess, should I talk about the film thing now?
Let's do that while we gather everybody around.
Okay, so about half of these maybe were done by people that were part of our animation accelerator program. So just a little bit about me and Mayumi. We run Tiny Ghost Studios, and we started out as a game studio, and actually, just because of the way the industry's gone, we pivoted to AI animation. We have a background in animation as well. And recently we pivoted, and that's been a really good thing. It was mostly out of survival, honestly, because as many of you know and are here and experiencing, the animation industry is really struggling, and games industry is really struggling. And so, out of necessity, we pivoted to AI animation, and we've been finding it's very challenging still, but it's also been a really interesting thing. So we wanted to share. When I say really interesting thing, it's been something that's been putting food on the table, which is really amazing. But it's also a weird thing because it's such a nascent industry and it makes no sense. There's expectations are all over the place. Regardless, what we have found some success, and we put together this animation accelerator program to basically help other people that are in the industry or interested in getting into the industry to be part of the industry and kind of give some of like help with some of the success that we've had. So so maybe we'll start with the people that have actually been part of the accelerator. And
that'd be great. You want to point them out?
Yeah. Jen, do you want to start?
Yes, I am standing in front.
So this is Jen, and can you just tell us a little bit about like your background, where you're coming from, and you have some experience in film, and the one big thing that you kind of learned in the accelerator program.
Hi, my name is Jen. My background is in film. I went to Emily Carr and I got a degree in film and screen arts, and I've also been a stunt performer in film for around 13 years. The animation accelerator course was really fun. I think the biggest takeaway for me was like how important the story aspect or storytelling aspect of the short was, and like managing time, because I think one thing I struggled with was trying to put too much into the short that I made. It was the Grub's Cantina one.
Awesome.
Thank you. I think I learned a lot in the process, but I definitely crammed a little bit too much into trying to fit it into a minute. I think if I were to do it again, I would simplify the idea, and so that instead of like 3 reviews, I would make it so that it's a more streamlined story, so that it had like one punchline. But it was a fun process, and Luke is very knowledgeable in not just like AI, but also like storytelling and a lot of like other tools that you can use in conjunction with AI to make it so that your work process is very streamlined and like works well together. I highly recommend it.
Awesome, thank you so much. Great. Next, I guess, let's see. Anna, can you say a couple things? Just tell us a little bit about what your background is. I know you have some experience also doing animation. And what was the biggest takeaway for you in the film accelerator program?
Thank you. My name is Anna. I work like a motion designer and create ads for social media. Usually don't like everybody's ads in social media, but this course was really interesting. Luca gives so many tips what important for creating, and for me the most interesting was remember about flexible. When you're stuck and AI not working like you imagine, what exactly what you want, you not need to stop and be flexible, create something new, find new idea, find new way, not stuck, and move away.
Awesome, thank you so much. Yeah,
loved your piece, by the way. Yeah, loved your piece. So
Anna's was the one with all the animals that were at the Cozy Creature Cafe or something? Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, one of the things I kept saying, it's all about adaptive storytelling. It's a very different paradigm than traditional. I've been doing animation for 30 years now, and directing for almost 20 years now. So it's a very big paradigm shift. And actually, before we go to the next person, I just wanted to say, what's been interesting is to see some people who have had who have backgrounds in animation or film and stuff, who have actually been really struggling with the paradigm shift, and that's been honestly keeping them back. And then there's other people like Robin who did the zombie one, which was unbelievable.
So good too.
That was the first time he's ever done any kind of film.
Wow.
And so that was just really, some people just like and he's been doing a lot of AI. So I think there's something about that adaptive aspect where if you're even AI native and you get a little bit of like how, like what Anna was talking about, the adaptiveness, being able to like, okay, well, that's not working. The model is struggling with doing this specific thing. How am I going to tell the story otherwise in another way that the model will accept? So that was really interesting. And Jeremy, did you want to say anything? Yeah. Jeremy, was there other anybody else from the course here that I missed?
Josh.
Josh. Josh. Why don't you? Here, you can use mine.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Josh.
A little bit about your background and one thing that stood out.
Oh, yes. So my background, I graduated a year and a half ago from a music program. I was studying at Capilano doing some jazz music, and worked in sound for a bit, and then thought I'd wet my toes a bit in AI. So I guess the biggest thing I learned coming from a sound background and basically learning animation from scratch and all the directorial terms like dolly zoom and all those camera movements. I think that was a learning curve for me, and also it takes a long time. I didn't know that.
And yet so much less time than traditional animation. Oh my God. Thank you. So Josh's was the one that kind of looked like Wallace and Gromit. It was the crow and the horse and the lamb that was there. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Jer.
Hey. So I took the course, and my motivations were a little bit different from the other people because I'm already familiar with a lot of technical stuff. I'm one of those people who creates the tools that are used for making the creative content. And so I wanted to see what some of the other studios are doing and what their process is. And so it was very interesting to see that, and some of the things that work great and some of the things that didn't work great. And so it really pushed me to try some things outside of my own sphere of things that I produce, and gave me a lot of ideas for more things I want to do. It's more inspirational to me.
Nice. Yeah, and we'll see Jer's next meetup. I'm hoping to. It's wild. We saw a little bit ahead of time, and it's a work in progress, but it's gonna be great too. All right. I guess we can just go to people that also have had. I'm gonna hand it to Arno.
Thanks, Luke.
Great. Go ahead.
I actually enjoyed listening to your talk earlier, Kevin, because you brought up Kling and motion control.
Yes.
So I thought, with every challenge, which I love, and I can see why this is a big hit for this group, I thought, what can I do that's new for me? And the motion control was where I went.
Cool.
I did the short music video about Take a Bite, and there's a part there where I used my face to animate her face. It seemed to put my wrinkles in there and other things I didn't want, but it was a little bit disappointing because it seems like it's very still, and because music videos are a lot of movement, I ended up using lip sync for the rest of it. Anyway, wanted to tell you that I was experimenting with that. And
very cool.
I'm very curious if anyone else has experimented with motion control about how you can get camera movement at the same time, because that seems to be the limit right now.
Yeah,
it's all static, isn't it?
In a sense, yeah. So there's a hack around that. What I've done a couple of times when I needed something like really dynamic is I will cut the head for my facial performance, and then I will do another performance like body, and literally track the head on that body performance and paste the head on top of it and do just the dirtiest composite ever. So you get the best of both worlds.
I'm happy with that. Do you get the camera movement as well then?
Well, if you're doing a camera move, so you do your camera move as you're doing your body take at the same time.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Next one you'll see disembodied heads perhaps. Last thing I'll say, the other part about Kling is it has, so many of them now, multi-shot. So I really took advantage of that. In the part where you see all those world leaders feasting on the world, all I did was run the same prompt, 15 seconds, multi-shot, and go, I like that,
perfect,
I like that. And it was a bit stunning because I had spent the time building the characters, and just the other thing about this, this was my third concept before I landed on it. You build the characters, train it, execute, and then in part you can sit back and pick the best out of it. So
it's a take generator. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Thanks, Arno. 3 for 3, by the way, in prompt challenges that Arno has shown up in.
Yeah, very
consistently. Super cool.
Hi, my name is Jai, and I did the Fisherman's Appetite. I feel like it was, not exactly where I wanted the story to end up, but I think, as you say, it's a very adaptive process. It's kind of like you're trying to get it to move in a certain way and it doesn't quite get there. But I feel like, the tools that I was able to use, and is it there? Oh, there we go. Good. Yeah. I was using 11 Labs for the music and the sound effects. I was using Premiere to assemble. I was using LTX 2.3 for the video generation, Gemini for the character generation, like a lot of different tools together. And I think that was the kind of pipeline figuring out, like the workflow and trying to figure that out. And I feel a little bit more confident with that. So I'm really looking forward to the next prompt. And seeing how I can bring more of those tools together. And then I have been trying Dance just even today, and it's so much better. Just so much more, especially with some of the new tools that abilities that it has. So I'm really excited about that as well. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Hi, I'm Michel Leblanc, and I come from a... Is it going in and out? Yeah. Try this one. Is this better? Is this consistent? Yeah, I think so.
Batteries
I can
might be
actually
dying
hear
on that
myself.
one.
And
Thank you.
I'm not fading here. Yeah, so I come from a tech coding background. I've done sales in the past, but now I'm playing around with all things AI, including the animation. And I did the... Monster Brain. Yeah, the Monster Brain. It has... What is it? It's the AI funk heavy metal one. I did that one, and I had a lot of fun with it. I just used exclusively Google tools on this one, and I started out with a storyboard type concept. And I kind of like that cartoon from the 1970s kind of look, so I just ran with it. I know it's not the most photorealistic one.
I was going to say, there's some solid heavy metal references in there. Yeah, absolutely. The magazine.
I used a Nano Banana for that one to generate the music. I know I could have gone over it a few more times to polish it up, but time was starting to run out, and I was happy enough with it. I'm happy enough with what came out. But that was done exclusively with Google technology, so I'm kind of looking forward to exploring some of the other AIs. I used Grok last time. This time I used VEO 3.1 generate.
Very, very nice.
Actually, just before we move on, I would love to just ask everybody approximately how many hours it took for you guys to produce your thing.
To be honest, I don't really remember. We had 1 week, so like from our first class to our second class in the animation accelerator course, I just tried to put in hours whenever I could. Sorry, that's not the best answer.
But 1 week for full animation, which is crazy if you are in animation.
Absolutely.
How long it actually takes.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say 18 to 20 or so, spread it over 2 days, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on the different concepts first. I find myself not touching the computer whatsoever and just visualizing. So I don't know how much of that time is. It's probably a third. But I do recall the first night finally getting behind the computer, 9 at night till 5 in the morning. Couldn't stop. So I think about 12 hours of actual on the computer work, and who knows how much thinking about that.
Probably about 4 hours, I think. But the way that I did it was that I would set a generation going, and I'm doing my work, and then I just, because I have a bunch of monitors, wait, see what the generation was, take a break from my work, do a little bit of tweaking, run it again, and go back to work. So it wasn't too bad.
That is such a wild new paradigm to be able to put something together like that. Like usually it's full on, full bore, like attention, like pushing keyframes, getting meshes into place, getting cuts and color in. But like I can let it run in the background and just babysit it. That is such a paradigm shift in and of itself. Exactly. Like, yeah, conduct away.
Yeah, so I would say probably I put about 4 or 5 hours in as well. And I was working in tandem with other things that I was working on at the same time. It would have taken a lot longer, but I built my own poor man's version of Flow using Google Colab so that it will do much of the editing and the transitions and things. But yeah, I strongly encourage all of you to just play around and learn.
Around 16 hours.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
Hi, I'll just talk about the project a bit. I'm Jeffrey Lando. Hey, we've been chatting. I did the one with the apple little girl, and it was really an experiment. I didn't actually make it. I made the platform that made it. So in this case, it was an experiment. I'm testing it out. So I thought this is where Claude makes it. So I even just told Claude what this was and the topic appetite, and to make it 30 seconds, I think it was.
Yep.
And it just did that. And it took about 45 minutes for it to happen. It fully just took control of Proda, of the platform, and just wrote it and generated it and created the music and the voiceover and then edited it all and delivered it.
That's amazing.
And then I could iterate. You can give it notes and it'll change what you want. And
yeah, Jeffrey, talk to Jeffrey. He's, is it Jeff or Jeffrey?
Jeffrey, and by the way, just thank you for what you're about to say, but I'm going to jump in, which is that there's a mention about the verticals and your mention about, which I've done, like this kind of adaptive, it doesn't want to go this way, I'll go that way. It's like an actor who's in improv.
Right.
But, as a professional filmmaker, that doesn't cut the mustard, as it were. Like, you have to do what they tell you. It doesn't matter if the AI doesn't want to. You have to deliver the shot. So that's what I've been working on, is like really how to make it like not to adapt. Like, it's my tool. I'm not its tool, And so, and we've been really successful. So like I'm working on literally verticals for a customer, and yeah, there are ways.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I'd love to hear more. I was just going to say, Jeffrey has been building a really cool platform called Proda that you please talk to him about it. It's very, very interesting.
Okay. Mine is a little bit special because it's actually kind of embarrassed because I spent like 2 minutes on it.
But what 2 minutes it was.
Yeah, I'll explain it later. So I did the Sam Altman eating spaghetti one. I'm happy that a lot of the audience here actually got the joke. For those who don't know, I think roughly 2 years ago, when Stable Diffusion was at its very, very early stage, someone made this Will Smith eating spaghetti video, and then it was considered like one of the first like so-called AI slot, and people be joking about it, and I use it as an example of how AI generation video is so bad, and then it gradually turned into like a benchmark for latest model. I think last time I saw a model that used it like as an official marketing material, it was Google's Wheel 3, if I remember correctly. But yeah, because I have a reference video, so the prompting process for me is very different. I just describe what I have seen in the original video and then swap the character with Sam Altman. So that literally took 2 minutes, if you doesn't count like the generation time. But the funny part is, if you was here last time, I talked about how I use Seedance 2.0 for my the last mission. For this one, I actually use Sora V2.
Yeah. Did you generate the last Sora 2 video?
That's what I try to go, because Sora is dying. OpenAI is shutting it down. It's gonna be ending like the platform service by the end of this month, and the API is gonna be available for a little bit longer, but everything's gonna be gone by May. And because that's the case, the platform is dying, no one is using it. And there's visually no restriction on uploading like real people face and stuff. Where
scary.
Where Seedance actually has that, you cannot generate. Well, there are workarounds, but you have to do like you have to put like mosaic on people's face and then put like a separate photo as a reference. But you can't generate real people face on a lot of latest models. But with Sora, because it's going away, they relieved all the restrictions, and then I didn't have to wait in the line. I waited in line for like 2 hours for the Seedance one I made last time. For this one, like it's super fast, 30-second, boom, videos out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then in the email I sent to Mayumi, I say this is like a tribute to the old time, because first of all, whole thing is a reference to the Stable Diffusion video. Yeah. Second of all, Sora 2 is going away. In the future, there will be like the only still in the market comparative video model, commercial ones nowadays. I guess it's just Gemini Veo 3 for the Western companies, and the rest, Kling, ByteDance, Pixelworks, they're all Chinese companies. Grok, well, I mean, they're moving there.
Yeah. LTX.
Yeah, LTX, but that's open source. Open source is a different topic, right? But yeah, so Sora 2 is going away, and this is one of the I don't know. Maybe one of the last few Sora videos out there. Luma is getting all the pictures, right?
No, actually, Luma has an incredible new image model, and I'm about to test it out quite a bit.
Right.
Luma as a video modification engine, I'm using that extensively in an AI VFX project right now. It's the one that's giving me the goods. So, yeah, Beeble's cool too. I'm using that for relighting mostly and some quick composites. But yeah, there's a lot of fast movement happening. The Americans aren't out yet, and Runway has been doing a very smart pivot in bringing on Kling, bringing on Dance 2 on top of their existing models too. So you've got this like infinite platform again under, they'll steer you towards Runway, of course, but you can test things out inside their own engine on different models too, which I think is a brilliant play. And there's still kind of like the cultural curator, especially with the Runway AI film festivals that they run as well, that are very big in the States. So it's all in flux, as we keep saying right now. So thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Well, actually, I want to add one more. Journey.
Okay, we're gonna move on now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, lastly, if you watch closely to the news, I think yesterday or the day before, they this new model on the chart, like on the top of the benchmark, actually surpassed Dance 2.0 Happy Horse.
Yeah, I just heard about it today. So yeah.
Well, you don't really need to learn all the background, but judging by the name, you know who made it. Like it's not right. It's from another Chinese big evil company, Alibaba, and I'm not saying Anthropic and OpenAI and other like Western companies are good. They're all evil. They're just evil in different aspects.
They're different clothings of evil. Yeah.
Right. Selling user data versus like selling. You still, but
we're gonna move on to Daga.
Yeah.
I'll give it.
Thanks, David. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Daga. Mine was, I'll say, around 20 to 24 hours across 3 days, like this last weekend, like Friday.
It was the anime one.
Yeah, the last one. I did the last one. The more anime one, and more like pastel colors. So yeah, it was like 3 days 3 days, and yeah, that was it. It was like a sprint.
That's amazing. And there's such a stamp of creativity on it and such a unique look on it. It is super cool. All right. Anything else?
Mayumi did one too. I didn't get a chance. I usually love doing the videos, but I didn't get a chance this week. But Mayumi was representing for Tiny Ghost Studios. Tell us a little bit about your background before, and then what you were thinking about this.
I'm not an animator.
You are now.
I wanted to be one very long time ago, and fell into operational finance. So that's actually my background. I've been in the animation games industry for going on 9 years, but I have all of these stories in my head. So these AI tools that have come out, started fiddling with them. Luke was playing with them, and I was like, that is so fucking cool. So yeah, I just have these ideas. And I also have a theory that every tool, like the prompting is a type of language. So if you can understand the language that the tool understands, then you can get better results out of it. So I tried to use exclusively like Nano Banana Pro for image generation, Kling for the animation, and CapCut for the editing and the audio. And I use Claude to help me with the prompting. I'll be like, research the best methods to prompt in Nano Banana Pro. This is what I'm trying to do. I use it to help me with my shot breakdown, so it knows what I'm trying to build, so it understands like the context of what the story is, and what, not just what I'm trying to bring out, but what's happening next. So I find that that's really helpful in kind of moving through the images, because it understands where the story is going. And Boop is a character that Luke actually made for our company a couple of years ago. He's our mascot.
Yeah, that was actually DALL-E, the original, kind of the OG of, Stable Diffusion might be the OOG, but
a close second.
Yeah, DALL-E, and that was like just when it came out, I designed Boop Doodle from there, and we've been using them ever since.
And we never made we wanted to create a series of shorts with him, but we didn't because it was too hard to animate him, like even a year ago, maybe even 6 months ago. And so I was like, let's do it now.
Because there wasn't enough training data for a character of that proportions and stuff like that. But Kling 3 actually did really well. We tried it with VO3 previously, and it just couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. And still, I had some issues with it. It didn't like the little curly thing on top of his head, so it kept removing that. And surprisingly, I didn't have any issues with like the graffiti on his body. It managed to keep that pretty consistent. And the chair, there's a couple of things that I got stuck on. I think it took me maybe 10 hours from script to finish over the course of 2 days. So, yeah.
Great.
Amazing stuff. Well, it just goes to show that we learn so tremendously much in each time we even get to touch these tools, no matter how much experience that we come into it. Everything is changing. The methodologies are changing a lot. And our own sense of play is changing a lot, too. So give a hand to our prompt challenge people. Gather around for a photo. Michelle Diamond making us look good. Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, so basically, if a lot of this I know could be confusing for some people, like even with, there are some things Kevin was talking about earlier that I was just like, I need to ask him about that later. Thankfully, we're good friends, so I can just be like, wait, what did you mean by this? But I think I just wanted to say that what we found out through, this was our first cohort that we had, and we're gonna be doing a second one at the end of May. So if you're interested, come talk to me or Mayumi, and we'll be talking about it and throwing up Luma invites for everybody that's on the list already. But one of the things I just wanted to say is that learning by just doing your hands-on, having a bit of a community. We had a WhatsApp group that we would just chat and just go for it and help each other out. And there was things that Jeremy, his little tagline is brain the size of a planet, and it truly is. He's got so much technical knowledge, so sometimes, I'd be like, how did you do this? So it's great to have a part of the community. It's great to just get your hands on and do it. So if you're interested in that, please talk to me or Mayumi.
Absolutely, and you've got another round of the Animation Accelerator coming up, so when you've got those details, we are absolutely going to broadcast that out to the nines. So, end of May, word is born. All right, thank you, sir. All right. Go, there we go. All right, Mark Achbar, can you come on up, sir, please? We have a legend in the house, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you may be familiar with the film The Corporation. Mark had a little bit of something to do with that, so we're delighted to have him. And sorry, what's your name? Sarah. Okay, lovely to meet you both. Mark and Sarah have some amazing new projects that they wanted to share with y'all, so take it away, Sarah. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you both here.
It's amazing to be here. I'm humbled by the work we've seen. I'm an amateur in AI and animation. I'm a traditional documentary filmmaker, but it occurred to me as I was looking at some photographs that I worked on this book at work in the fields of the bomb with Robert Del Tredici, and he took photographs of the nuclear weapons manufacturing facilities, and he did this brilliant book. Sarah actually printed the prints for the book, and this was back in the 80s. He tried to make visible the bomb and what impacts of radiation actually are. It was a brilliant book, and he interviewed many bomb designers and all kinds of people. He's been photographing the nuclear world for 50 years now, and it occurred to me that he could, I could take the photos that he took and sync them with the audio of his original interviews, and I could make those photos come to life on the page using AI. I thought that would make it a little more interesting and captivating. And
that's really amazing. And it just goes to show that, you know, it's not just generating things out of thin air that is really novel about AI. It's taking, you know, historical artifacts and bringing new narrative and new life to them, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to do it in a self-referential way in the film. So I'm making a film called Romancing the Atom, and it's looking at humanity's addiction to existentially threatening technologies and how we might break those addictions. But
wow.
Anyway, so Sarah and I worked on that book, and I've been involved in anti-nuclear movements for many years. And so that was the genesis of it. And in our demo reel, we got one of those photos using HeyGen. I got one of those photos to speak and to come off literally come off the page. I didn't bring that, but that was my introduction to HeyGen. And during the pandemic,
so I've known Mark for 45 years or something, and we were working in Montreal together. Then during the pandemic, we started as a group, myself, Mark, and a woman called Shannon Smadala, and we started thinking about psychedelics, and we established World Psychedelics Day, which is on the 20th of June every year, known as WPD 620. And the whole purpose of this project is to bring to people's consciousness the importance of psychedelics for people for whom therapies or traditional pharmacologies haven't worked. And there's very hard evidential science now demonstrating that certain psychedelic substances, when they're properly driven as a psychotherapy, work very, very well with people with PTSD, chronic symptoms of anxiety and dysphoria in general. So we set that up 5 years ago. And on 620 every year, we do something strange and remarkable to celebrate the evolution of this project. And we are this year trying to get people to sign a petition for us to try and get the UN involved in our project so that 620 becomes an international day of observance for World Psychedelics Day.
Amen. Yes, please. Yeah.
So we have two approaches we have two approaches to this that we're going to show you.
Absolutely. Let's.
Both of the museums.
And we're absolute novices in this, and so we'd like to show you this because it was the idea. If you'd like to give us feedback and tell us how to make it wonderful, we'd love that.
Let's take a look. Can't wait to see them. Thank you.
You know, I've spent a very long time in libraries. I've chewed through more books than most people have read. And every so often, something comes along that makes me sit up straight and say, now this matters. Mental health. That's what I want to talk about today. Millions and millions of people are struggling with things like depression, anxiety, trauma, and addiction. And here's the honest truth. Our current treatments just don't work for everyone, not even close. So scientists, brilliant ones, have been asking, what else is out there? And the answer? It's fascinating. Certain substances, called psychedelics, are showing remarkable results in careful, rigorous clinical trials at some of the world's top research institutions. Yes, we're talking about real help for people who haven't found it anywhere else. This isn't fringe science, my friends. This is peer-reviewed, published, serious medicine. Now, Canada has been quite clever about all this. Canadian universities, Canadian researchers, the Canadian government. We've been investing in this science. And back in 2021, right here in Canada, a little something called World Psychedelics Day was born. On June 20th, the very first event drew 2,500 people from over 50 countries. Scientists, therapists, indigenous knowledge holders, all in conversation together. Here's my idea, and it's a good one if I do say so myself. The United Nations has over 160 special international observance days. World Mental Health Day, International Day for Persons with Disabilities. These days move the needle. They raise awareness, they change policy, they shift how governments and people think. Canada could lead the push to make World Psychedelics Day one of them. Official, global, powerful. What would that do? It would help people understand the difference between therapeutic medicine and harmful substances. An important distinction. It would reduce the stigma that keeps patients from getting help. It would bring researchers and policymakers together across borders. And it would push for sensible, evidence-based rules that protect people while opening doors for real treatment. Canada is perfectly placed to lead this. We've already shown the world we can make bold, thoughtful decisions on drug policy. Our researchers are doing the work. Our Senate has already called for action. The Senate Subcommittee on Veterans Affairs published a report titled, "The Time is Now, Granting Equitable Access to Psychedelic-Assisted Therapies." And here's the thing. Canada has done something like this before. When we believed the world needed to pay attention to the rights of girls, we didn't just talk about it. We walked into the United Nations, we drafted the resolution, we built the coalition, and in 2011 we made October 11th the International Day of the Girl Child. Official, global, permanent. Canada led that. So, Canada. The science is ready. The moment is ready. The question is, are we ready to lead? I think we are, and you can help. Sign the petition for UN recognition of World Psychedelics Day. You know, that kind of rhymes. Sign the petition for UN recognition.
On 620, we recognize a new age of informed perspectives on the beneficial properties of modern psychedelic compounds and ancient plant medicines and practices. On 620, we honor these medicines that have changed so many lives for the better. WPD 620 shares frontier science and indigenous wisdom to create awareness about the safe and therapeutic uses of synthetic and natural psychedelic medicines. WPD 620 envisions a time when psychedelic medicines are better understood, safely and legally available, and appreciated for their wondrous and sacred uses. Today's psychedelic renaissance grew from the dedicated work of thousands of scientists, therapists, individuals, and organizations challenging prohibition. WPD 620 is a project of the International Psychedelics Awareness Foundation, a nonprofit welcoming collaborators across identities, spectrums, and geographies. This year, we need your help. With depression, post-traumatic stress, and suicide at critically high levels, mental health must be recognized and treated as a fundamental human right. You can start by signing our petition for United Nations recognition of World Psychedelics Day and making a donation to help move the movement forward. Just go to worldpsychedelicsday.org.
Thank you so much, Mark and Sarah. Obviously you have a tremendous history in storytelling, in filmmaking, and multimodal, the OG multimodal storytelling. Tell us about, some of the experiences that you had learning a lot of these new technologies, beyond what you're doing and what you've mentioned of, finding the old photos and bringing new life to them. How were you curious about this technology in the first place? Because it's daunting to start with. What was your journey of just like looking at it, embracing it, and using it to craft your stories?
Well, we both come out of filmmaking, video making, and storytelling backgrounds, so we are trained in that way. And because AI is everywhere and I'm often online, it started to fascinate me, what you could actually do with moving and still images. And we all started trying them out. Mark made the mouse avatar. We wrote some of the text together. And how long did it take, Mike? half an hour?
It didn't take long.
Right. And the second PSA is our friend Shannon avatarized, and she made it, and it took her 10 minutes to make it. So curiosity, really. And it is moving so fast, and I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I've got Shannon here. She's... but we're interested in your responses to the two different approaches. Which do you think is more effective? Do you think, or should we put up both? And how can we make them better? Sorry? More different ones?
Mm-hmm. Lots of different styles is the name of the game.
People contribute.
Yeah, all right.
That would be lovely.
The mouse. It was like watching. I really loved the mouse. It was like watching Einstein deliver a lecture.
Because we are sort of meeting on Saturday with someone, a friend of ours, and we've got this idea to make like 6 or 7 or 8 of them, and each of them representing a different culture, a different language, maybe a whole panoply of looks and feels. So if you'd like to volunteer to make one, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
For 620.
Yeah. We can make that the next film prompt challenge. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, psychedelics have had a huge healing component in my life with therapy-assisted use. It has been absolutely transformative at several junctures, and this is something I can really, 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 really get behind. I've done a lot of media work in the space as well, so hats off to you folks for putting, a pretty amazing flag in the ground and having a day to celebrate it, because it is transformative and powerful, and I can't wait to see what you all come up with next. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Legends in the house, folks, doing good things. Thank you. All right. Neo, come on up, sir. There you go, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Neo, can you just tell us what we're going to be looking at while we get set up here?
Yeah, no problem. Hello. Well, it is a bit warmer up here. I should take my jacket off. Anyway, what's up, everybody? My name is Neo. Thank you so much for staying up late, and thank you so much for having me here. What we will be looking at today, our great filmmaking tool we call Wemio. And we also have our Kevin from our tech team right here. If you have any technical related questions, feel free to ask him, not me, because I'm not that kind of person. All right, a little bit of myself. I am the founding team member of Wemio. For the past 10 years, I've been working on several different startup companies. Why I'm so passionate about building startups is because we are really solving the problem that people have right now. Speaking of the problem, I kind of want to ask you, how many of you, well, I know some of you are pros and just getting into animations, but I also want to know for people who are not up here earlier, how many of you are actually using AI to make films? Or I got pretty much everybody. I got pretty much everybody in the room, and I want to ask you how many tools you have to use in order to deliver one clip. You don't have to answer me right now. 2 months ago in February, I was talking to one of my friend. He is a pro AI animator, and he's like, he's like, whoa! I was using 13 different tools to just put together one clip. I was like, hold on. That is totally wrong. We shouldn't be switching between tools because that causes risk and reduce a lot of efficiency. And that is why we built Wemio. So we wanted to be the one tool that you use for filmmaking. And now let me show you how our product actually works. Before we jump into that, I just want to show you 2 clips that I just made earlier this afternoon. Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Yeah, just don't worry about that very last bit. Not perfect, I know it. The second one we generated is, I kind of like this one better than the fighting thing. It's just so beautiful. So yeah, our tool, you will be able to produce films like this. And now let's go to the product. Oh yeah, so you see here on the screen right now is our homepage. We have different features built in. And also, forgive me about the Chinese, I'm a Chinese dude, so you got me on that. First thing we're gonna be looking at today is the Hollywood Cinema feature. This is the tool that we used make the previous 2 clips. So we're gonna using that project. So once you get in there, you will be able to, on the earlier page, you will be able to create a new product by just clicking the button on the top right corner. But once you get in, you will see something like this. So these are the images and videos that I generated early on. And at the bottom, you can see this is the station, this is the area where you can do your work. So the first thing you want to do is create your characters, right? So you can either click on that build your cast button. So this feature allows you pick what kind of style you want your character to have, and then you can of course use your prompt. Yeah, you can of course use your prompt to do your own customization, but that is something extra help that you could have. Yeah, you can type in, let's just say we wanted to create a cowboy. or no? Yeah, so let's actually just save us a bit of time because I'm pretty sure people wanted to chat later on. Let's just go to captures button right here. So go down there. If you click on there, you're able to switch in between characters, locations, or panels. So these are different sections for you to generate your assets. For example, in locations, you'll be able to generate your location image, and in panel section, you can generate your first and end frame, which you will be using later on when you are making your clips. So once you have all the assets ready, you will have to set them up as an element, which you can add and references later on when you are producing the clip. It's right there. Yeah, so once you have that ready, you can exit and go to video. So here is where all the magic happens. You can attach your references here. You can choose either upload your own image, or you can choose from the previous images that you generated. Yeah, and you can also pick the first and end frame that you have, just like that. And also you can choose, like you can write your prompts. But what I wanted to mention specifically is that you are able to generate create your camera movement by just clicking on that thing over there. You can choose from all the following options. And also, if you hover your mouse over, you are able to see how it works. Just like on the, And if you go over genre, you will be able to choose your style. It's just give you a little bit more accuracy on the clips that you're going to be generating. And so you see this button here where it says single shot. So this is actually allows you to choose different camera angles. So you can actually set up multiple cameras and right in the prompts. You can also adjust the movements of the speed of the movements for the camera as well. Yep, just like that. So that is for the Hollywood cinema feature. And if you go back to our home screen, you will be able to see this AI generated feature if you go in there. So you're able to generate your own clips by entering your prompt over there, and you can switch actually between. If you want to do image, you can do image. You can do video, or you can do music as well. And for models, we have CDNs 2.0, and we're going to be cheaper than the existing ones that are on the market. You can also choose how many generations you want to do within one patch. And the last thing I wanted to show you is the infinite canvas that we have right here. So the reason why we designed this canvas is because we want our creators to have a place where they can organize all their assets or clips in one place. So this is still under development, but our ultimate goal is make it very organized and clean. And of course, you can always interact with your clips and works that you have already made by just using that chat feature over there. You can, So we have agent built in. So you can just chat with them if you wanna change anything, or if you wanna ask anything So that's pretty much it about our tool. Thank you very much.
Very, very cool stuff, Neo and team at SFU Venture Labs. Thank you so much for giving us an early sneak preview on this. When is this going to be available for people to try out?
Yeah, no, if you want to try out, let me know. I actually have a couple more slides.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, if you would like to try out, just let me know. We are more than happy to give everybody early access and free credits to play around with it. And one of the reasons that we are here is because we need your help. Because we wanted to make a tool that is made by filmmakers and for filmmakers. So I'm not. That's why I need everybody here. Thank you very much. This is coming up on our roadmap. Hollywood Cinema, a couple more features. Also, we were building a cloud skills, which allows you to talk to cloud, and the cloud will do all the works for you. And so this is my contact info. If you want to chat with me, just add me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email. Yeah, and I also wanted to thank you so much for having me here. Thanks a lot, Luke and Mayumi. Thank you for the opportunity, of course, Kevin here. And Chris, I don't know where he is, but thanks, bud.
Thank you so much, Neo. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Grab that QR code. So many amazing tools being built in our backyard. And you can say there are a lot of tools out there, but there's different tools for different types of projects and different types of creators. And it's always amazing to see a different take on it, especially in our backyard. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So we're pretty much wrapped up, folks. I was going to show a demo of a tool that I vibe coded, but the tool will be broken in its alpha test phase. We had some terrible issues with internet this morning, and we're running a little short on time. So what I'm going to do is record a real quick demo video and put that out on LinkedIn on our What's Up channel as well. The nuts and bolts of it is I have a requirement for a film that I'm post-supervising on right now. It's going to be shown on Monday, and we have several sequences that don't have sound design yet. The edits are going to be ready tomorrow morning. So I saw this in advance and wanted to prepare, my team to just get sound design as quickly as possible. So I was aware that there was an API inside of DaVinci Resolve. I was aware of an API on Google Gemini. I was aware of an API on 11 Labs, and I made a little script and MCP server and API call around that analyzes video, scans the video like the best Hollywood sound designers around. I gave it the creative scope of legendary sound designers like Ben Burt and Gary Rydstrom, et cetera, et cetera. It crafts prompts in that context for Foley, for Atmos, for all the layers of sound design that you really want to get out of a tremendous visual project, and it will create prompts based on what it sees in the video. It will also analyze the audio too, but I haven't even tried that yet. I just wanted to see what it could get in the visual sense. Gemini scans it, gives those prompts. The helper tool sends those prompts to 11 Labs. 11 Labs API brings back all of those elements, the individual WAV files, and then the helper script with all the correct file names, the correct binning, brings them into DaVinci Resolve and puts them timecode accurately to what it saw in the timeline. And it works really well when you're hardwired, but not over Wi-Fi. So I will put a clip out to show you that. The stuff that comes out of it is blowing my mind already. Just getting your first pass sound design with 70 layers of tracks sometimes. Maybe 30% of those are duds, but you start to take away, and you have so much richness in it already. So that's my blind explanation of it. But I'll post a clip about it and get that in front of y'all. The real cherry on top of that is I also discovered DaVinci Resolve's native AI auto mixer tool, which is available in the studio platform of DaVinci Resolve as well. It will analyze all of your audio tracks, categorize them, and give you a really solid first mix to start tweaking with. It will take into consideration your dialogue. It will take into consideration your music cues and all of your music beds that are in there. It'll apply multi-band compression. It'll apply voice isolation if there's any noise inside of the footage as well. These are all completely pliable, tweakable after the fact tools inside of DaVinci Resolve. So this film that I'm working on has really solidified even more to me. I am a DaVinci Resolve zealot, but I am 1,000% more so now. I am color grading and compositing on the Fusion page tab in 2K and 4K, and it all syncs and talks to each other. We have 5 editors working on this right now across completely different boxes. We're working across Blackmagic Cloud, and it is working spectacularly well across editorial, narrative, sound design, color, and now compositing on my side as well of AI-generated elements for visual effects augmentation. So I'm really encouraging everyone to, if you've been kind of nervous about getting into DaVinci Resolve, it is so phenomenal how they've been able to bring everything out in one unit. It's a one-time fee for the studio edition as well. It's about $299 American, so just about 400 Canadian. But that is forever. You get updates forever out of it. It's not a perpetual fee. And I'm telling you, if you're curious about vibe coding at all, if you've spent 10 minutes in Claude Code, the API in DaVinci Resolve is so malleable and flexible to what you want it to do. You can do pretty much anything. So, and you can build your own pipeline with it, basically. So I don't have visuals to show you that it actually proves that it works it, but I will give you real ones, not generated visuals. I swear on my heart that they will be real, and I can't wait for you to see this and get your feedback on it. So I'll get that out in the next week, because I'm still working on that film. So we're coming to a conclusion here, and I'm just going to rifle through a bunch of slides here. So we are part of the BC AI ecosystem, and we hold a main event at the Space Center the last Wednesday of every month, and it is everything ethical, technological, creative inside of AI, all in one house, mostly local, but increasingly bringing in international luminaries. The next one we have is April 29th. That's at the Space Center, which has had a wonderful bump in prominence this week with the Artemis mission and our boy going around to the moon and back, literally, which is pretty amazing. They were front and center in coverage in it, and they did an amazing job. It's a beautiful place to hold an event like this. We're very grateful to be there every month. The BC AI ecosystem is a grassroots organization that sees what's on the horizon and what's here today in AI, and is both infinitely excited and infinitely terrified of its potential all at the same time. And we wanted to get together and get a seat at the table. We're really starting to do that. A few of our members were part of the national consortium with Evan Solomon a couple of weeks ago at Banff. We have a real voice at the table, along with other wonderful organizations across Canada, from Montreal, Toronto, and Calgary in particular. And they're really seeing our grassroots model as something to look at, to try and duplicate in each community's way across Canada, to organize, to talk, to make sure that we're talking to each other and to the right people. And for all of this to make this work, we have memberships. And I really encourage you, a bunch of you are here free tonight as a result of the BC AI ecosystem membership. There's free plans for the email portion, but if you start getting into the paid plans, you'll have paid for the film meetups in and of themselves. And there are other groups that you can attend as well, as Mind, AI and Consciousness. We have education. It's all really holistic. I joke that you can plan your entire social calendar around the BC AI ecosystem now. We just kicked off the Comox Valley AI group. 75 people showed up in Courtney for the first one, which is absolutely incredible. It's making waves. We want you all to have a seat at the table, side by side, and jamming and talking and creating together. So if you see the value of this tonight and you're curious about being a part of it even further, either through volunteering or doing a paid membership, please, 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 please look up the BC AI ecosystem and see what they have on offer. There's the QR code right there. Snag it if you aren't a part of our lovely merry band already. That's it, folks. The next one is going to be, we're going to be in the same location twice, everybody. Isn't that amazing? In this economy? Thursday, May 14th is our next one. We haven't drilled in the prompt challenge quite yet, but we'll get that out over the Luma Blast and the WhatsApp group as well for the next topic that we want to do. Weren't those prompt challenge clips amazing? Yeah. Talk about amazing community creativity. On that front too, we have another announcement that we had to kind of shelve as well. We're getting together as survey to see what the community is all about. And that means, where do you come from? What is your creative experience? What is your technological experience? What is your filmmaking experience? Across the board, we want to know precisely what you're good at, and we want to connect you. Whether that's on personal passion projects that you can all do collectively, and paid projects as well, because some of us that have been in the trenches for a while on the AI front, at times we've got way more work than we know what to do with, and we want to get good people in the hot seat along with us and make sure that we've got a thriving economy as well as a creative ecosystem. So we're going to pass that out through our WhatsApp, through the Luma Blasts as well. We want to know what you are all about, and we want to make things happen. See you on May 14th. See you online. There'll be clips of this and last month coming up soon. I'm a little behind. I got sick and then I got a huge project at the same time. So thank you very much, everybody. You've been amazing. This is what community is all about, and I am so grateful that every single one of you are here. Have a great night, folks.